Hello, good evening. I'm Victoria Weather Meteorologist Ryan Henning, and I'm here with a look at your forecast for Florence, South Carolina. And for those that don't know where it is, it's right here in eastern South Carolina, not too far from the Myrtle Beach area. Here's Columbia right here, Wilmington, South Carolina. So eastern part of the state. It's 42 degrees and clear. You can see all of these sites, unless you get up into the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee. It's a pretty clear night across the Carolinas and Georgia. And that bears out on satellite as well, where we've just got a trace of clouds extending from the DC area down to the Smoky Mountains, where we could see the observations already had the cloudy conditions. And yeah, it's going to be a pretty boring night across the Carolinas. You can see on the forecast model, looking pretty good. A lot of high pressure, not a lot going on. This is going to last through the day tomorrow. You can see the red lines reflecting the warm temperatures across the region. Not bad at all for Florence, South Carolina, or really any site in the Carolinas. It's going to feel a lot more like April or May than March 9th and 10th. But look at how quickly it's going to turn in the plains here. They're going from nothing to something rather quickly. And the crazy part is there's really not a lot of hint of it before we start to see the precip develop. There's no real good low pressure organization. Just suddenly going to be some showers, thunderstorms across the Ohio Valley, Tennessee Valley, from southern New England down towards Tennessee. This is the NAM, this is the GFS. They both got the precip moving in there. The NAM actually really explodes it fairly quickly across the mid-Mississippi Valley, just north of Memphis there. Obviously, I'm not 100% sure how it's going to bear out. And through the day on Thursday, tomorrow, it looks pretty good in Florence. But really, we need to look at the upper levels to see what's going on here. There is an advancing trough at the highest levels, but the better vorticity or turning in the atmosphere really shows up on the 500 millibar level over the Great Lakes there. That's going to be that twisting, that turning in the upper atmosphere. And this is actually not as high up in the atmosphere. That's really going to be reflected at the surface with that area low pressure that's developing just offshore. And because we've got our trough right here, this is 36 hours out. So this is going to be early morning on Friday. This is going to be over the Great Lakes, and the low pressure system at the same time is going to be just offshore. That means they're not vertically stacked, it's tilted. That will allow for the continued strengthening of the system as it moves offshore. It doesn't look like it's going to bring a lot of precip, if any, to Florence as it moves through, but it will bring a change in temperature to the region. Here we've got the temperature maps. So both days of our forecast period, tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday, going to be pretty warm in the low 70s, but you can see it's going to drop off fairly quickly after that system moves through. If we look at the precip forecast, there's just one model, and that was an old run of the NAM that does have any precip, maybe just a trace with the latest issuances of the forecast output. But most of the rain should steer clear. But yeah, it's the cold weather is really going to settle in. Of course, I mean cold in Florence, South Carolina standpoint. So that's 50s. Although later in the week, it does look like it's going to be in the 30s or 40s in Florence. I did want to just show you, just so you could enjoy this, the GFS midweek next week actually does have a little bit of snow. Just a trace, but it's there. It's definitely going to be there in the forecast. So that's really going to be the brunt of the forecast. We're going to see a rapidly developing system moving through southern New England. That's going to be kind of a travel nightmare. It looks like it's going to impact southern New England and New York City during the morning commute on Friday, and then pull off quickly with colder air settling in behind it in eastern South Carolina. But for our forecast period, it's going to be low or highs in the low 70s. And we can see, looking again at that temperature, these diamonds here, these black diamonds, are the actual forecast temperature. So it's the primary models that meteorologists look at, the GFS, the NAM, all that. It's significantly cooler than those. So we're going to be looking at the short-term model. Could get down to 36 with the clear skies overnight tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if it does get that chilly. I think it's probably, with it being as cold as it is overnight tonight, a little optimistic, hitting 75 tomorrow. So I think 70, 71, the model average kind of for the day tomorrow, sounds about right. And there's not really going to be an advance of clouds, so I believe that the models are a little bit warm for tomorrow night as well. So we'll call it about 48 for a low, and then back up to about 72 or 73 on Friday, with some clouds and wind, bringing the temperatures down Friday night, and it's going to be a chilly weekend in Florence. But for the forecast period, we're good. Showers and thunderstorms are moving. Well, the showers and thunderstorms. Just a cold front is moving through Friday night, and then it's back to winter. But that's going to do it for me tonight. I'm Victoria weather meteorologist Ryan Henning, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week.